Arsenal 2, Crystal Palace 0 at Selhurst Park, and the Premier League is up and running. And I think that, look, I heard a lot of Arsenal fans coming into this season saying, we've had a great pre-season, we're going to have a good season, we're really optimistic. And I think somewhere in between. I actually think Arsenal fans would have been thinking it was going to be like the first 15 minutes where they dominated Palace. They suffocated them. Martinelli should have scored. It felt like it could have been a 3 or 4-0 game. Then they got the goal. And they did what a lot of teams would do, especially in the early season away from home. They protected what they had and they looked to hit on the break. And it didn't really work on the break. And suddenly the game changed. And I think at one point, Palace had, Arsenal had 60% possession. Palace had no shots on goal and it was nearly half time. The game ends up with Palace having more possession, similar shots, more passes, better passing accuracy. But Arsenal win 2-0. And I would actually take big encouragement from that if I was Arsenal, first of all, because first 15 minutes they looked good, then they sort of let Palace back into the game, but the defence held up. Saliba was my man of the match, either him or Anderson for Palace. Gabriel played well. Ben White at right back had a horrible time against Sahar, but ultimately did quite well. And Ramsdale made 2 big saves. I mean, the biggest 2 chances of the game, all right, Martinelli had 2 big chances and he scored 1, but Eze in the second half, that's a good save by Ramsdale. Eze should score. And I do think Edouard should have scored as well. And it was another good save by Ramsdale. So if you're an Arsenal fan, you're like, attacking wise, we look good for 20 minutes, but we can do better. Defensively, keeper played well. Centre-backs played well. Midfield did well. That's our toughest game in the first 5 games. We've got to go and play Leicester. 3 of our next 4 games are at home. We've got Leicester, Bournemouth, I think Fulham and Villa. You've got 3 in the bag already. If you're Arsenal, you're thinking at least 13 points out of 15. And that's a very strong start to the season. And that's what they're looking to do. And Arteta wants to add players. So I think for Arsenal, in some ways, that result's better than beating Palace 4-0. Because I think that game could have been 4-0 on the first 15 minutes. But I would have been sat here saying, really good win for Arsenal. Palace just don't look fit. And I think on Palace's side, there was this rumour that they weren't really ready. Because half their team went to Australia and half of it stayed behind. So they're not really been that, had the pre-season they would like. And it looked like that. I think the first 15-20 minutes, Palace did look slow and Arsenal looked sharp. And but I think if you're an Arsenal fan, you're happier with that win than you are with a 4-0 where Palace are crap. Because Palace did test you. They did create chances. They did work hard in the second half. And Arsenal defended really well. So I think it's a good result. I mean, it's such a cliche, but everyone says it. To be a good side, you don't win 4 or 5-0 every week. A good side wins when they didn't play as well as they could have done. And I'm not taking anything away from Arsenal, but I think in the second half they defended more than they would have liked. But they defended well, they made a big save, and it's a good game to win. And you know what? Last season they lost to Brentford away. Away from home on the opening day is dangerous. And Crystal Palace are a dangerous side. They beat Arsenal very, very well at Selhurst Park last season. So I think they'll be very, very happy with that result. I think it bodes well for Arsenal to have a good start to the season. In a bigger sense, they're not going to win the league. And in a bigger sense, I still think it might be difficult for them to get top 4. Simply because I think Chelsea, Spurs, Man City and Arsenal have got a better bench. Liverpool have got a better bench. But Arteta says he wants to buy players. They're still missing a couple injury. So I think 2 or 3 more players for Arsenal. And they're looking very, very good. There's a buzz around Arsenal. Let's see what they can do. And I think that Saliba at the back looks like being very, very, very good. And I think Arsenal have got plenty to be positive about. Palace, look, you know what? You didn't look sharp. You didn't look ready. But Anderson was probably my second man of the match. So they've still got a bit of rhythm. They've still got a bit of fitness to come. Very difficult for Palace. They've got Liverpool away next week. Then I think they've got Villa at home, and then they've got City away. Palace, and look, this is the same for Arsenal. It's the same for everybody. Winning your first 3 games of the season or losing your first 3 games of the season doesn't mean you're going to get relegated, and it doesn't mean you're going to win the league. Arsenal lost their first 3 games of the season last year. Spurs won their first 3, and they both ended up fighting for 4th right to the end of the season. So I think Palace might find themselves early September, bottom of the league with maybe no points, but I don't think that means they're going to get relegated. I think they've got a very tough start to the season on the fixture list, and I think Palace will be fine under Vieira. I still think they're going to be a good team. But look, they didn't win today. It's as simple as that. Arsenal did. And they deserve to win. Get your thoughts in below. What are your thoughts on it? It wasn't a great game, but I think Arsenal fans have got a lot to be positive about. I think Palace, it's going to be a bit of a slow burner this season, but we'll see what happens with Palace. And we'll see what happens with Arsenal. Saliba's my man of the match. Anderson second. And yeah, good start to the season. We're back tomorrow for Liverpool against Fulham on this channel. So make sure you subscribe, smash a like, and I'll see you on the next one. Well, I thought I would. I can't bloody end the video. It's all bloody froze. There we go.